Hi there, friendly friends. One of the most common questions I get asked from paper hands is, what happened to the $670 million from PulseChain and PulseX Sacrifice? Everybody wants to know, hey, we raised all this money, what happened? Here is the definitive answer. It's still here. It's doing nothing. But also, it's a bit more nuanced than that. So, of the money given, not all of it was given in the stuff that Richard Hart wanted to sell. So a lot of HEX was given. None of that has been sold. No HEX ever gets sold. Only the other poopy coins got sold. Ethereum, all the other alts, everything got converted to DAI. D-A-I, DAI. DAI is a stable coin. So it is still sitting there. I think there is about $670 million. If you go to etherscan.io and you look up DAI and you click up here holders, you can actually see, look who's the biggest holder of DAI in here. This is PulseX Sacrifice. You see that? There is $278 million in here. Now, I'm sure there's a PulseChain one itself. I'm not sure exactly where it is, but I'm sure it's around somewhere. So the rough number, I think, is $670 million. And you probably want to know, okay, what happened to the money? Okay, it's not doing anything. Why? Why isn't it doing anything? Well, I can give you a very good example. I'm glad you asked, right? I want you to pretend you are a billionaire, you yourself. So you are a billionaire and you've got some friends. So here you are. You are a billionaire. I'm going to draw you right now. You are a billionaire and then you have friends. But here's the thing. No one knows you're a billionaire. And you've gone and you've met people, right? So you met all of these people, but you don't know who to trust. Right, you don't know who to trust. So you get these different groups of friends. They're like, there's 3 different groups of friends here. I'm a billionaire. And you probably, in your younger days, you were naive. So maybe you met everybody at one point. You said, hey, I'm a billionaire. And you noticed all of these people came around you and they started having expectations. And they said, can you buy me lunch? Can you tickle my back? Can you buy me a duck? Can you buy me some coffee cups? All these extravagant luxury related things you get demanded for. People have expectations. So we're going to write it down. When everyone knows you're a billionaire, you can't trust anyone. Everybody has expectations. So the game gets ruined. The game gets ruined. That's right. The social game. The social game gets ruined. But, it is a game. Don't forget. So you know this. You go, all right, well, what can we do now? How about next time you meet people, next time you're at a party with your fluffy slippers and you're drinking orange juice, how about you don't tell them you're a billionaire? Why don't you just find out who's actually a good person or not? You know what you might find out? You might find out this row of people, they wear brown crumpled slippers. This row of people, they have hunched backs. And this row of people, they like you for you. So they hang around. And then if in the future you decide that you like them too, for their birthdays, you might get them a very luxurious gift, like a box of tissues or a new chair. Do you see what's happening here? If you don't tell everybody what you're going to do, you don't break the game. You don't put the Grand Theft Auto cheat code, all right? You don't start ruining the whole experiment with how society works. And you might say, this is an experiment with finance and you're going to relate it to crypto. Yes, but this is how society works too. You understand that this billionaire is also the government, right? The US Fed, the government. That's what this is, okay? It's more the US Fed. They make the money. So we don't actually really have the government in here, right? The US Fed, central bank scum. So central bank scum, we're going to write it here. So this is how society works. Think about this. If you had infinite money in the printer, everybody would say, oh, golly gee, I took down this whole banking system. Can I get some money, please? Everybody crowds around you. But if they don't know that you're going to bail them out in the last second, then everybody tries to act rationally and the game gets played as normal. And if you're a benevolent person, you'll do it. So how does this relate to the sacrifice phase? Well, it relates to everything about it because you're going to now see, I'm going to bring it here for you, you're going to see when it comes to the sacrifice phases, there is 670 million USD, right, sitting here in a treasure chest. And I'm going to have to draw there's going to have to be a pirate, right, to signify the treasure. So you have $670 million here, but now I'm going to remove this, and now this billionaire is actually Richard Hart, right? And he's dealing with PulseChain, which includes PLS, PLSX, HEX, which includes, yes, eHEX, pHEX. It does include the eHEX in it too. So this is what you don't know. This is where people get upset. They're like, oh, why don't you just tell us? Well, now you know why. If he tells everybody what's going on, the scum hang around with expectations. The people right now, the price action you're seeing, people are leaving. This is what we want, right? People are actually generally leaving. This is exactly what you want to see. So this is Pulse, the Pulse chart. You're seeing people leave, right? People are getting crushed. This is a daily chart. Yes, look at this. This is people leaving, getting destroyed. You know what all the charts look like. This is health. This is what happened also in the beginning of the Uniswap launch for HEX. And here is the HEX launch again, just to remind you. So yes, at the very start, it was the same game, right? He was given, so Richard Hart was given 90,000 Ethereum was given. So 90,000 ETH was given, right? Which was equal to about 18 million USD at the time. So, and look, it still was able to pump. So you get to see this, right? 90,000 Ethereum was given and then disappeared. We're like, oh, what happened to it? It got recycled. Where did it go? Don't worry about where it went, okay? It's out of our control. You can't do anything with it, this information. You're either on the ride or you're not. If you're not on the ride, then please click sell and leave. I just like how I can see the sequence here, and I'm on the ride. This ride can go to zero. It can go to negative numbers. It can go to the fiery pits of hell. But also, this ride might give us a dove emoji, and we might fly to the heavens like we did before, which is giving you, like, this is a 30x here, and if you run it out to the top, this is a huge number, right? Like, woo, HEX did, there you go, like, you know, the 850x, maybe we get 80x, whatever. It's still better than Bitcoin's 2 to 3x that's coming, that's all. So you understand now, once you step into the realm of this game, social experiment, how things are going, you introduce a lot of unknowns, but also this is how you get the asymmetric upside. Because if you go back here, do you remember all these people who are bottom feeding? Well, now because you haven't told them what you're going to do with this $670 million, the weak hands are leaving. The weak hands are selling. If you see any influencer, any person who says, what's going on with the sacrifice? What's going on with sacrifice phase? What's going on with the treasure? Please unfollow them. Stop listening to them. They will poison your mind. Most of the time, these people themselves, they are sociopaths. They don't want to be given the truth because, truth be told, most of them are just scum themselves. The people who keep asking these questions, who are in positions of power and influence, and they have people around them, maybe they have run other projects or whatever, they are looking out for themselves. Without the benefit of you, you have no chance of benefit at all. Okay, so yes, Richard Hart's looking out for himself too, but we have evidence that other people can also be looked out for too. I'm not saying everyone wins. I'm just saying there's evidence here to show that. Most of these people, these other projects, there's no evidence. The evidence is the insiders dump and they do all this stuff, okay? So don't fall victim to people talking like this. So we just literally, I'm going to delete these right now. There will be a delete button here and a delete button here. They're gone. Now we just have the believers. Now we're believing. So this is, everybody is looking out. So here is going to be a looky eye emoji so we can see. So by the way, this is exactly what Bitcoin copped in the early days. You see here, this was literally Bitcoin. I'm going to get Bitcoin emoji here. This is exactly Bitcoin. I'm not even joking. This is, go back. I've shown you, made videos, the articles from Wired and everyone else from 2011, 2012. They said Bitcoin's this weird cult. They all hang around this weird anonymous dude on the internet called Satoshi that they don't know who he is, and they're praying that he doesn't dump on them or escape and leave. It was everyone saying that, looking in. So who benefited the most? It was people who believed. It was people who believed. Now, this is called faith. I know a lot of people, it's a very sensitive topic. Are you a person of faith? Well, you can't ever really know. You just have to do it. You're either in it or you're not. Make a decision. And that decision is going to come with pros and cons. If you can't handle the cons, click sell now and get out. Stop annoying the rest of us. But if you are in here and you want to learn, I'm here to show you, hey, this is my competitive informational edge that I have. Hey, this is the reason why I am long. If you don't like my reasons, good. Click sell, go out, click something and buy something else. right? Stop annoying the rest of us. You'll be told time and time again. So I'm seeing similarities here. People called Bitcoin weird and everything at the same time, and now we're seeing the same thing too. Not enough people know the formula yet. This is why I'm like, okay, sweet. I am now 4 steps ahead of the competition. The competition are retailers who are weak hands. They're going to come back. The competition are going to come in. They're going to be like little rats, right? They're going to be like little rats or little vampires. That's what they are, right? Little vampires. They're going to come around. But these little vampires, they're not here yet. They'll probably come and buy the top. If you keep them in the dark, the vampires don't come and chew away at this treasury. So you probably ask, okay, what would they possibly do? Is this treasury just going to buy the coins up? No, I don't think so. I think it's going to do something else. There will be some sort of game theory, mechanic, distribution that entices people to buy and hold the coins if they want the treasury. I don't know how he's going to do it. I don't know what's going through his mind, but I know he's probably got a good idea already. So this solution might involve, hey, if you want a piece of the treasury, then what you'll have to do is, some sort of yield farming, staking, whatever it is, liquidity bonding, you'll be incentivized at some point. Now, the fact that I can't tell you concrete answers is good. And most people will say, no, it's bad, we don't know. Good. Everyone who talks about what happened with the sacrifice phase, just think of this, all right? They are vampires. They are literally vampires. When they ask this question, they want to come and suck on this. They just want to suck on this $670 million and they don't want to let go. But hey, we are baby doll friends here. We are all here dancing and prancing away. We want some of this too because we're believers. If we tell these vampires and let everybody know what we're actually going to do, they're going to hang around too much. And we're not going to get the high pumps. So you want to know specifically, okay, what does this actually translate to in the chart? Well, I'll just give you an example. In the first wave, HEX did a 25x from here. Maybe if the vampires were there, it would only be a 10x. You get me? So maybe it's like you went 3 times higher in the first wave because the vampires weren't there. And then, from this point up to the top, that's another 80x. Maybe with the vampires, you only got a 30x. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, maybe it's like it's instead of the total amount being, if you just go here, I'm just going to quickly measure it here. The total amount, remember there are no vampires here. The total amount is 2000x up here. All right. So I'm going to write it down. So we're going to call it Richard Hart formula. Richard Hart formula, which is the same as Bitcoin formula, right? Gave 2000x. That is what we know happened. You can't argue with this. This is just facts, okay? Now, what about the vampire formula? What about if he tells people, oh, I'm thinking of doing this and it's going to be that, and you allow the vampires to come? The vampire formula. This is called having expectations, okay? You might divide this 2000x by 3. Maybe you're down to 600x, all right? Now, you might be saying, hey, 600x is pretty good to give confidence. Well, chill out. Because 1, I'm guessing with these numbers, it could be much lower. But 2, what if we get diminished gains in this one? What if Pulse and PulseX aren't going to do a 2000x? You're probably thinking, what if we got to divide this number by 10? What if this number's only going to be 200x? That would mean the vampires are only going to give a 60x if we let the vampires in. And what if I'm wrong about this? What if I'm still overstating it, friends? Now you can see the real damage. Just imagine this was still too optimistic. Imagine we're only in Pulse and PulseX only going to get a 50x, right? So now, imagine that, a 50x. So now, if you divide this 60 by 4, maybe it's going to be a 15x? After 2.5, 3 years? Wow. Do you now see how much this impacts once you give the vampires a reason to suck on you? If you let them suck, there's going to be no blood left. Tell them to suck on something else. Oranges, high in vitamin C. Stay away from our treasury stablecoin. The more people cry about this treasury stablecoin, the better for me and you. Because we don't want them there being vampires. Now, do you see this game? Now, remember, this billionaire out here, well, now you see it's directly related one-to-one. If you want to give the biggest pump, in a nutshell, you got to take the most pain right now. And the pain we take is, right, this is the pain we take, all right, here right now. So to get the biggest pump, we need to take the most pain now. So this is called, obviously, so this will be called, so have no expectations, right? Be left in the dark. Let's be specific with some of the examples here too. So no Richard Hart streams, right? No Richard Hart explanations of prices, right? No confirmation of things, right? No, it's going to be okay, all right? No plans for the $670 million, right? No discussions about farms, right? Rug pulling farms without any warning. Do you see what I mean? Do you see all these things? You look at all these things. This is exactly what's been going on. Exactly what's been going on. You do all these, you leave everybody in the dark, and this is how everybody wins. The most. All right. Now, obviously, we can't run this experiment parallel because, you know, you might say, hey, I would rather get, you know, like 50% less gains to be told what's going on. Yeah, but what if it's not 50% less gains if the vampires come, friends? What if it's 90% less? You're really gonna regret it, right? We don't want these weak people around. So I hope this explains to you. I know this explains to you. I know deep down in your heart, you don't want these suckers here. You don't want them here, man. What benefit do they have? These are the people who drag everybody down. These are the people selling the bottoms. These are the people selling these bottoms. These are the people who are like, gotta get out, get it out. That's exactly what's going on here. Same thing with HEX. It's the same thing here. People selling. So I'm gonna add another one here to you. It might get you a bit tingly right now, right? So what if as well, no discussions about saving eHEX, right? No actions from the origin address, right? I'll do a duck emoji here. So see what I mean? No expectations of saving ratios. See, do you see this? This is part of the game. So I know a lot of people will say, it makes no sense for you to guess on this. That's okay. The whole thing's a freaking guess, man. This whole ecosystem, the whole bet's a guess. You can't possibly sit here and tell me you're stupid for taking an eHEX punt when you're in pHEX. Like, we're betting on the same thing. You know that, right? Like, you're just betting that if the whole thing doesn't get rug pulled and people come and buy your coin over everything else. But it's the same game. It's literally the same game. Like, if there's a comet that hits a city, you know, does it really matter whether you're in a hospital or in a school building? It doesn't matter. Everyone's getting crushed. You're betting on the same thing by living in that city. You're betting that the comet doesn't come and hit. It's the exact same thing here. So eHEX and the ratios and what's going on, right? Nobody will ever get an answer. No one. Richard Hart doesn't deem anybody. He doesn't speak to anybody. There's no insider information. There's nothing. He works alone. He acts alone. And that's how it has to be. That's really how it has to be. Once you have a society of secrets and people get a different competitive edge, it starts ruining the game and the trust gets broken and it's over. Just like how Satoshi wasn't talking to people about what he's going to do, what he's going to plan, Bitcoin spot ETF. He was not talking about this stuff at all. It was just, there you go. Here's the code. I'm out. All right. This is how it has to be. This is how it's going to go. So you are free, baby dolls. You are free to click sell with everybody else here. That's fine. I want to remind you, the first weekly candles, remember, this is a weekly chart. We focus on the W because W is the first letter of friendship. And we focus on these. And yes, 90,000 ETH was given, $18 million. And if you notice here, there were some red weekly candles and it was disgusting. So, you know, from your average price goes down 97%. That's it. So maybe this part happens. Maybe it doesn't. We don't know what's going. We're still guessing. We're here for the pumps that may or may not come. And if they don't, we're going to wait and see anyway. Because really, at the end of the day, we are all betting on the same thing. Up only. Like, subscribe, bell button, or tell mum and dad that you love them today.